Hey, we're looking up for the area right now of some squares or rectangles. We always know that the area of a square or rectangle is length times width equals the area. So we're going to find some lengths and widths, shall we? First, we're going to find the perimeter and the area of this figure here. I know that because it's a rectangle, that means that the sides on the sides opposite of each other are equal to each other. So that means that this side length is 6 centimeters and this side length is 8 centimeters, which means when I add my perimeter, I can just add out 8 plus 8 plus 6 plus 6. So when I do that, 8 plus 8 is 16, 6 plus 6 is 12, and now I'll do 16 plus 12, that equals 28. So the perimeter, or the distance around this figure, is 28 centimeters. And now when I find the area, that's when I'm multiplying length times width. So I'll multiply my length, which is 8 centimeters, times my width, which is 6 centimeters. And I'll roll my sixes. 8 times 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. And the spider says 42, 48. Bam, 8 times. So that means the area, or the amount inside this figure is 48 centimeters squared. Remember, you include that 2 for centimeters squared. When you write it out, it looks a little bit like this: 48 centimeters, and then it's a tiny 2 up top. Let's do the next one, shall we? Looking down here, I need to find the missing side length of the rectangle below if the area is 28 inches squared. So here, I know, and I have to do a little bit of thinking backwards like we did on the PDN, but 4 times what equals 28? Because we know that this is here, we don't know what we want to know, but we do know that area equals length times width. So 4 times what equals 28, because our area is 28 meters squared, because length times width equals area. So I can roll my 4s until I get to 28 to figure out what number is 28. What number is, how long the side length is x. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. That's 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 times 7 equals 28, which means the side length has to be 7 inches. Next question asks, what is the area of the figure below? Be sure to include your units. I have my length and my width here, so I know that I have to do 15 times 5. I can multiply this out just by multiplying. 5 times 5 is 25. Put a 5 right here, carry my 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. So it should be 75 centimeters squared would be my area. Oh, that's answer choice C. Perfect. And let's do number 4. Determine the area of the rectangle that has a length of 13 inches and a width of 4 inches. Okay, so I want to find a rectangle. So I'm going to draw out a rectangle myself. Here's a rectangle. I've now drawn a rectangle. And the first part has 13 inches. Sorry, the length is 13 inches. So I'm going to make sure that I make the length 13. And I'm making sure I include my units. And the width is 4 inches. And I know area is length times width. So I'm going to do 13 times 4. Just like I did for 15 times 5. 4 times 3, 4, 8, 12. The 2 here, regroup. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. So it should be 52 inches squared. When I type that in, I will write 52 inches squared. Or you could do 52 inch squared. For this video is the grade you're going to be going into next year. It will